Welcome to the Library Database Instructional video. Hi, my name is James Hampton with the Hinds Library System, Medgar branch. This is a brief introduction to the research tools available to you through your Hinds Library System website. I'll be at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Let's get started. We start here at the Hinds Library website, jhlibrary.org. You can type that into your web address, or you can type that into the search engine and you should find our website. Once here, you go to resources, library resources, down to research databases, and you find these research databases available: Westlaw Next, Clarion Ledger Indexes, Ancestry Library, and Magnolia. Magnolia is where you find the bulk of the databases available for academic research. So let's start there. Okay, here we are at the Magnolia website. That's the Mississippi Alliance for Gaining New Opportunities Through Library Information Access. Let's get started searching the databases. Before we do that though, let me make you aware of this note here. Internet Explorer is not supported for use with Magnolia. We recommend the latest version of Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Microsoft Edge. Funded by the Mississippi Legislature, libraries throughout the state of Mississippi, and the State Department of Education. So Internet Explorer might have some trouble. Let's use one of these other browsers. I'm in a Chrome browser, so that should work out fine. Let's go search databases. And I always like to open mic research and recommend this to the students as well, that you use reference sources before you jump into scholarly journals and articles. So Academic Search for me is a great place for articles from scholarly journals. But let's go down to History Reference Center. This way we can get some general information from specialized encyclopedias and reference sources that'll give us an overview of what we're looking for before we jump into the academic journals. Okay, so let's say we're searching for Electoral College. We want to know what that's all about. Maybe you're writing a paper, maybe you're just curious, but let's check it out. Now, the first few results, we see we have 81 results. The first one is from a journal called Cobblestone. You know that's the main journal that it's from because Cobblestone is in italics, so you know that's the source. The date lets you know that it's a journal because it's got a volume and issue number. So let's change our search a little bit, limited to just books, because I like to find my research starting off from things like this: Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia. This gives you an overview of the topic before you get into the journal articles. Just click the full text, that way you can read the whole article. You can actually listen to it, or you can read it yourself. Here it is: Electoral College and U.S. government, the body of electors that chooses the president and vice president. It goes on to tell you about the article and the section of the Constitution and what it says about the Electoral College. And here over to the right, once you've read that and say, oh, this is an important article for my paper or my research, you can either print it, you can email it to yourself or others, you can save it onto your desktop or your jump drive, or you can also click on Cite. And this is important because if you have to use this for your research, then you're going to want to cite it at the end of your paper. And if you're using MLA style, you can just cut, highlight what you want, put on Control, hit C, cut that, copy it, and Control V, paste it onto your works cited page, and there you have a reference to your article. Let's go back So now that we've gotten an article that gives us an overview of Electoral College and what it's about, you can scroll through and see if anything else catches your eye. But since we have limited time, let's go back to the Magnolia resources page. So now that we've explored the reference sources, now it's time to get into the scholarly journals like Academic Search Premier. You can do your search here. You can choose databases, so you can search more than one database at once. You can do an advanced search, but since we know what we're looking for, and it's relatively simple, Electoral College. Search. All right, first article, the creaky old system. It's in a journal called Nation. It gives you the date, October 5th, 2020, so that's very new. Let's see what they have to say about the Electoral College that they say to be called a creaky old system. And here's the PDF form of the actual article as it appears in the journal, with a photograph, the title, headline is "The Real Threat to American Democracy, One of Its Own Institutions." So if that looks interesting to you, you can read through it. And you have all the same options in this database as you did in the last one, where you can print it, save it, or email it, or find a citation, whatever you want to do. So let's go back to the Magnolia resources. I wanted to call your attention to one more reference resource. Here we have another great resource for reference information for local research. It's the Mississippi Encyclopedia. And you can go here for anything that you want to ask about Mississippi. Say we were looking for something like the blues. All of these different entries have something to do with the blues in Mississippi. Bobby Rush. So we have an article on him. It even tells you how long it would take to read it, average, and you can do all of these things. You can email it, you can send it to Facebook, Twitter. And there's the citation information. It's not in any style, but you just take each element of the information and put it in the style that you want to cite the article from. Speaking of which, let's go back to the Magnolia resources page and show you one link as far as citing sources is concerned. The Purdue Online Writing Lab link take you to Purdue University's online writing lab, and this is where you can get all your questions answered as far as citing sources, not plagiarizing, and how to handle your writing styles and your different citation styles. Back on the Magnolia resources page, there are so many databases on this page. There's almost 100. I can't show you all of them in this video because it will be too long. But I did want to highlight a couple more. There's natural and alternative treatments. That's a health resource. If you click on that, you can search all different conditions or illnesses, and it'll propose different treatments, some alternative, some traditional, some herbal, all types of treatments for different ailments. We have the same type of database in Spanish. It's called Salud en Español. We have Novelist. This is for the readers of fiction. You want to find different types of books, different authors, and get descriptions of those books. You can click on Novelist. It's great for fiction and nonfiction. All types of new books that come out, you can get information on them. There's the Religion and Philosophy Collection. That's just a specialized database from EBSCO that tells you, gives you articles on various aspects of religion and philosophy, full text articles that you can cite and you can read in full. Let's see. There's so many here. I couldn't begin to go into all of them. PBS has a good news website. PBS NewsHour Extra is a very reliable source for news. At least I find it so. So just explore these databases on your own, and you'll find something, I'm sure, that catches your eye. It's something to do when you're on the internet and you're not necessarily able to check out books from the library. You can always come to our online resources and read a lot of full text things that'll definitely feed your mind and entertain you as well as educate. Thank you so much for paying attention. Be safe out there and take care.